Hello and welcome back. Got here molle H harness. It's a DFLCS V1 made by LBT. It's like they also called it 19A1 or A1, I believe. This one was an ACU or UCP for the nerds, and the digital. I dyed it. I had one of these a long time ago. I actually had two sets. The Eagle version, the very first V1 of the DFLCS Defense Fortress, and it came in a camo green. And there's now V2, V3, and ABU and OCP. But the very first version were camo green or olive green, and they were made by Eagle, LBT, and GCS. And so I couldn't resist this stuff. It was the harness with a lot of pouches mixed between the like FLC, SDS pouches and the GCS like ABU stuff. Some of it, was other like the butt pack and holster, the bayonet, but I already had. But most of it came as a big set, and it's pretty cheap. I think it was like $70 shipped, which is, with all things considered, pretty low cost these days for a molle H harness. And really like it. I dyed it. I got it for the most part different shades. When you dye the ACUs or UCP stuff, you can never really get a good consistency, but anything's pretty much better than the UCP pattern, right? As long as it's not pink. Anyways, really like it. Got my Alice set here. I almost sold it, after I found this, but I figured I'd keep at least one set of Alice since it'll never do you wrong. And I've already done plenty of videos, griping about molle gear versus Alice gear, and the biggest complaint, I guess, with the molle is not really the pouches. Like the FLC, I really love the pouches. It's just it's usually the carrying systems that are terrible. Like the FLC, it was middle of the road in my opinion. That's just for me. Obviously, some people love it, but to me, it was like the belt kit for the Alice was a lot more comfy, did a better job. But the pouches on the mount, the USGI SDS stuff were pretty good. It's an upgrade, I guess. As you can see in the harness, though, I removed there used to be a mesh panel here with pails. I don't use camelbacks. I personally don't like them. I prefer canteens, so I removed that. Just cut it across, and so I'll have better heat dissipation in that area, less material to deal with. But what's cool about these, it's very similar to the Eagle H harness, and one difference, the biggest difference, is the on the front here, instead of the three adjustment points, it's just one big one with a quick release buckle there, which I think is pretty nice. Always liked it better, and it has a spot where you can attach. Got 2 points here. You can attach 2 pouches horizontally. So I got one pistol mag, and then I got the flashbang that's being used as a tourniquet pouch. And the way I configured it, basically on the V1s, to the back panels here, there are 2 straps here and here, very similar to the Eagle H harness. The taps, airborne taps, is very similar too. They have something like this where these will expand out. I like to get them as close as possible. That way the front panel here is more to your side on both sides instead of like directly in the front. So if you lay down, it's not right digging into you. And plus, it's just the balance better. Any type of H harness, it's all about your balance, weight distribution. So I found that to be a good way to run it. Now, I don't want to go too into it between the comparison with the Alice, but simply put, the big great thing about like a molle H harness is the buckles you can quickly adjust and loosen and tighten when you need it, whereas an Alice it's kind of a pain. They have extenders for the Alice, but it goes from snug to loose. You know, they really don't work too well in my, every time I've tried it out, unless if it's really something like you got body armor on top of cold weather gear or something, you know, then it might work. But for me, I try to get 50-50, you know, weight distribution on your hips, and then 50, you know, on the shoulders with the straps. Kind of defeats the purpose one way or the other. But that's just me. All depends on personal preference. This rig's got these little rings down here, and I think I'm gonna remove these rear ones. I don't know what they're for. Probably some type of accessory or something along those lines, attachment. But when I rocked with it, that's kind of like the only thing that really got in the way. I started with the canteen pouches a little higher, lowered them down on the pails so they hang a little lower so you can get to them easier. But it's a pretty comfy H harness, and it's probably, in my opinion, the best molle H harness. If you're an Alice guy like me, you always like the Alice, it's probably the closest thing you're gonna get to it. Now the panels here, they are a little thicker, as you can see, or taller I should say, and so you're gonna have a little more coverage, which means a little more heat retention. So that's like the one big drawback. But besides that, I mean, it's good to go. It's rugged, well made, and it's got a drag handle up here, and it's a good system. I mean, I guess longevity wise, I was kind of looking at these buckles. I don't think they'll wear out, you know, or they seem to hold the weight well. I mean, on the pouches, I think I got a lot of mags you can carry. This is like a trip mag and double. I think it's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you got 12 mags. I got this set up for, plus the one in your rifle, right? So I just gotta add a dump pouch, and I think it would be pretty much set. It's a very good setup if you want to do like a heavy, so to speak, LBE setup. If you have molle, you know, if you like the molle type of stuff over like Alice. But what else? Oh, that's right. I'm sure anybody in the gear world knows that you can use a FLC belt and make a LBE style setup. And here I got a Marine Corps, the Coyote Brown FLC belt, and then what I used are the spare ELCS H harness adapters. They slide over and fit in, similar to the FLC. They have these tabs, and they come with straps, and they hook up to whatever suspenders you would like to use. One thing I learned though, the FLCs, make sure if you got Coyote, ACU, or the Woodland, they gotta be the zipper. You can use the molle 2 with non-zipper, but the belt's a little shorter, so it kind of, you're not gonna have as many pails webbing. You know, the waist size won't be as long, so you'll have less real estate, simply put. The newer ones with zipper, you'll know they have a more of a squarish buckle like this. I like the H harness suspender, that spare I was talking about here, because it gives you that attachment point. Now there's other ways. You can do a D-ring and run it. You can run the D-ring into here and attach the suspender point there, or if the pouch has like something like the Alice, you know, you can rig it there, because it only comes with these two right here, the ladder harnesses here, or ladder buckles, or whatever you want to call them, to attach something. They got little holes here, so if you want to use the hook like an Alice, like the traditional up here that these would have, you can hook it through there, or you can get rid of it and just, you know, run it through like that. You know, these are pretty comfy, but the big thing, like compared to like the Alice was designed around like a 3 mag pouch. Here to me, I've always found that double mag pouches with molle are like the way to go. Just one. This is a LBV 88 Medic 3-rounder. It's a pretty good pouch. It's basically like a molle version of the Alice, but it's kind of got to be off to the side. Like once you move it up, it just doesn't work as well for whatever reason. These the double mag pouches seem to be the way to go, but the problem is with molle and pails, like I've seen in other videos, it's all about, you know, the real estate, where you can squeeze stuff on the belt. With an Alice here, yeah, you can't do that. I mean, you can squeeze maybe like, if this takes 3 rows, you can squeeze it to 2, but it's about it. So depending on what you're trying to carry, that could be a problem. But it is very comfy, and again, it has that adjustable buckle. It's kind of like the two advantages, I'd say, over the Alice. Whereas the Alice, you get the nice squeeze accordion, you know, effect there going, where you can put as much on there. You get the 3-round mag pouches. So just an option. It is pretty cheap. Yeah, you know, I think that FLC cost me $15 shipped. So, and you can still get these woodland ones for like $5 a piece. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, there's a couple guys, you know, they go more in depth on these. I think the Modern Minuteman gentleman, he has a couple good videos on this type of setup. And so if you want to go over to that channel and check it out, but that's just my opinion. You know, it's very comfy. And you can attach whatever type of suspenders, you know, that you fancy. So, but very comfy, all 3 of them. Still have a soft spot for the Alice. You know, it just works so well. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Questions, gripes, complaints, leave them in the comments. Have a good one.